Wow.
Welcome to DogStar.
Each week we sit down with a star of the hip-hop and R&B world, and this week we are sitting down with RZ Shahid. Thank you so much. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm chilling. How y'all doing?
Chilling is the right word.
Yeah.
The winter's here for sure.
Yeah, doing well. Staying warm.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
But we want to dive right into questions. We've got no time to waste today.
True.
We've sat down with you 4 times on mic for an interview before today. You've been a longtime friend of the show, even back when it was Sundogs Present Local Vibes.
Yeah.
But it's good to talk to you now. Well, we want to kind of fill in some of the gaps and some of the questions, because we've asked you a lot of questions, but we got even more. Were you born and raised in Minnesota?
Yep.
Very cool. Were your parents from here? They moved here?
No, they moved here. So my mom, Ohio, dad's side from Chicago. And then they came here, found each other, made me.
There you go. It's destiny. And you were saying in one of our previous interviews that your mom was bringing the good R&B music to your life, and then your dad also had good taste in music. Yeah,
I would say my mom, like going on road trips and stuff like that too. But she always had good like pop music, so she was really heavy into Michael Jackson. So that's probably where I got that from, just being a big fan of him. And then R&B, like Donnell Jones would play a lot, so he's like one of my favorite R&B artists of all times. But like him, Boys and Men, list goes on. And then I think I said gospel already, but I don't necessarily listen to gospel a lot on my own, but every time I do hear, like I always like really appreciate like just the music aspect of everything too. And then my dad, similar thing, R&B as well. I think he was listening to me. It might have been like Tank, and like I remember Trey Songz like off the top of my head back then. And then he put me on to like Scarface, Ice Cube, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. And then from there I found my own way into like, I think that's when I started discovering like Eminem, Drake, Kendrick, all that stuff. That's took my wheels. Kanye. My dad listened to Kanye too. So yeah, I was all over the place. So
nice. And then we weren't listening back to your previous interviews. We weren't able to like narrow down where the entertainment industry kind of like clicked in your head as something that you maybe wanted to do. Like
from the first music video you ever saw, or?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't even know, because honestly, like I originally didn't even like want to. I've always loved music. Like even that was like the way to get me to sleep once upon a time. Like my mom would either sing to me. Like I remember even like hospital visits, if I was being fussy, she'd grab me singing, and I'm like I'm out. And then I think I remember my dad too would tell me that similar thing, but like put me in a car and like drive around, play music, and then eventually I'd like pass out.
Cute.
So I think I've always just had a love for music without realizing it. And then, but originally growing up, like I wanted to be an actor. I saw like Step Up and stuff like that, so I used to low-key like wanted to be like one of the dancers in Step Up. When I saw, I think it was either 2 or 3 when they had like the kids coming in there breakdancing, and I like recognized one of them from like YouTube. I was like, oh man, I'm trying to be in there going crazy.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I used to want to do a lot of stuff. Like I used to skateboard, and that used to be a goal of mine. I used to be bowling, so I thought one time I might be a professional bowler or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how. Like, I think I just always was interested in it because I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to do. Like, oh, like people like that's just. I think it'd be like fun. So like even like high school, I took like acting and stuff like that.
What shows were you in?
I wasn't in any of the plays. It was like an acting class that we took.
I guess. Do you remember the monologue you had to do?
Yeah. So I remember the monologue. They like taught us how to fake kiss, like like how some people like they like use their thumb.
Grab the
stuff like that. Put your thumb in front of your lips and stuff like that. So it was cool. Shout out Miss Ramish. I actually ran into her like last year sometime when I was doing an Anytime Fitness interview, and I guess she like went to the gym there. It was kind of funny. I was like, oh snap, I remember you.
She wasn't like, I see you've remembered what I taught you.
Nah, but
any other classes that maybe looking back might have been like the start of an artistic career?
Actually, I forgot what it was called. Off the top of my head, it was in 8th grade, but like I was always into music back then too. But I think there was like an option to either be in choir, which I was in choir prior to that, but 8th grade, there's an option to be in choir, or there's like another class where they're like teaching you how to like produce stuff and like different things. So we were like in garage band, like learning different things like that. So it was just fun. Okay, like, you know, getting into that. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's.
But outside of that, it was like I was playing like the recorder growing up. I feel like most kids did, and like in school eventually. But yeah,
was I know some artists start out doing covers, and then I guess another lane into the music industry would be kind of doing poetry. Did you do either of those?
I never publicly did poetry, but my way into like songwriting and music was poetry. So like I would write to myself per se, and I never like wrote to beats or anything like that. So that was just like my way of expressing as a child, even like, or even actually, I mean, to this day. So I can't even say as a child, but I don't think I've ever shared any like those with anybody for real. Like I've never performed like actual like poetry by myself. Like if I did anything, it was like maybe like one of my songs a cappella is like the closest thing I've done to like performing like poetry live. But that was like my introduction to this like writing, and then I want to say like high school, late middle school is when I like started like writing to like beats or something like that. Go on YouTube, find a beat, whatever. I used to skip lunch sometimes and go on like the pods and like write and do things like that.
And now you know how to use DAW, so now the gate's kicked all the way open.
Yeah.
And
blessing.
I mean, why do you think music? Why do you think you've stuck to writing and music and not bowling? I mean, I know your aspirations are still, you can still reach them.
Yeah.
But why do you think music moved to the forefront of everything?
I don't know. I'm just laughing because every time I think about it, I was cold at bowling. Like I was going crazy. So
you ever bowl 300?
I have, but it didn't count for like a ring because it wasn't in like
a league or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
So because I've done that before. Then I also had a moment where I bowled. I bowled at like a 9 spared and I struck out the rest of the game one time. But there was like once upon a time where I used to like, I think the highest average I remember having bowling was like a 212 in like a league. But that's that's about what I remember. Otherwise, it was in my family. My mom, she's a bowler. She still bowls to this day. So like I was around it, liked it a lot. Same with like me roller skating and stuff like that. Like got that into that. But
hold on. Roller skate?
Yeah.
Wait, what? While you're bowling or separate along with the aspirations back in the day?
Separate. Yeah, it was just
like some
things
roll
like
bounce.
it's like the other like hobby. That's one of my favorite movies. So yeah,
I mean, go right along with Step Up. It's those movies go hand in hand.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it was like my hobbies I was saying growing up. But because I remember I was getting like scholarship money from like bowling tournaments and stuff like that. I like toured to school.
How old were you at this point?
Or
what grade?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember what, because I remember I bowled for like high school, I think starting like maybe, was it sophomore or junior year? I don't remember. I think it was, or maybe freshman. No, it wasn't freshman year. So it might have been sophomore or junior year. I know prior to that, because I was in like sanctioned leagues that I was bowling in like different tournaments. And it wasn't like I was getting a whole bunch of like money like that, but it was just like, but because I wasn't 18, nothing like that, I couldn't get like, I was getting scholarship money. So
interesting.
But
interesting.
And then I toured some school in Iowa because I was potentially gonna like go there to bowl.
Whoa!
We see, I didn't do that. So
yeah,
and I'm sure skills you still have. I mean, maybe not the recorder, but skills you can still use at least socially today. The roller skating, the bowling, the singing.
Roller skating to this day. I still got like a crew of people that I still like talk to. We'll go skating sometimes, and then still connect to the people at different like skating rinks around here. So whenever I pop up, I always see somebody I know typically. So it's like, because I was going since I was in like elementary school. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, got my own skates. Yeah, keep them in the whip. So like, I got them to.
I sent a music video perhaps surrounding roller skating.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say too much, but yeah.
Getting warmer.
So putting the pen to paper.
Oh yeah, that's where you started.
Starting recording on the YouTube beats. So this is still in high school, I would assume. Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, I want to say I wasn't even like, I didn't really start recording much until, actually I wasn't in high school. Because I remember I got like a Blue Yeti like USB microphone or whatever like that. Or we call it Blue Betty, whatever. They don't sponsor me. But I'm just playing. But yeah, I remember having that, like a little USB mic. I think I was in GarageBand at the time, and then just recording myself having fun with it. Yeah. And then I want to say after I graduated, I was like working at Nike and stuff, and that's when I like because originally, like, I wanted to get into it just to be like I was gonna go to IPR, like I toured the school, checked out like McNally Smith. I've like visited a couple schools because like in high school, like I knew, okay, like I don't have any interest in doing anything else. I think the only other thing that I thought about possibly doing was like maybe going to school and like becoming like a therapist or something like that. And
that's
then
solid.
as an adult, I was like a personal trainer for a little bit, which I still could do that. But yeah, music's always just like, and just art in general has always been like forefront of my mind. Like I've never ever like wanted to do like anything else for real. Like on a, like this is what I want to do in my life. Like it's just this what brings me peace per se. So I kind of like just refuse to live life like not doing things that I don't want to do because life is short. So,
and it sounds like from a very early age, kind of shook off, you know, I mean, because you could still be investing an equal amount of time in, you know, the bowling and the skating and the, you know, but I'm just, some people don't learn till they're 60, 70 years old that maybe I should have spent my time doing a few things I'm good at or am passionate about versus 23 things that I'd really love to do. But
because that's honestly probably what pushed me from continuing like bowling for real. Because I think I was bowling like, I think I stopped at like 19 or something like that. Because I think
right in your prime.
Low key probably. Because last thing I was doing, I was like in this league. It was like a parent child thing, whatever like that. So like I think it's like my last year I can do this because I'm 19. So like, but I was just
you
doing
and your
that.
mom?
It was me and my mom. So
Okay,
like some, I think it was like a Tuesday night league. So we were just kind of doing that. That was like our like bond time, whatever. And again, like we both like to bowl, so, and I was having fun with it, getting good at it, and like they had like, I think it was like free pizza and stuff like that, so it was cool. But yeah, after that, I think I like just invested all my focus into like, all right, I want to make music, I want to pursue this, and then eventually, like I said, like originally I just wanted to be a songwriter, like producer in the background of things, write for other people, and I met somebody when I was working at Nike, and I was at his crib recording in his closet. First thing ever put out into the world by me was a feature, and then I ended up, people were like, oh, yo, whatever the fuck. So I was like, you know, let me try my own shit, or try my own stuff. And then, so then put my own stuff out, people like that too, and then, which low-key, I don't know if you can find that. I took some of that stuff down, but.
We gotta pump the brakes. So first song, it's a feature. Was it RZ Shahid, the artist name?
It was just RZ at the time. It was like, I was like, yeah, you just put down RZ or whatever.
Okay. And then
capital R, lowercase Z, nothing like specific. So.
And then one question I want to ask before we start getting into your discography is you were saying that you started writing poetry, and I think it was in one of the last interviews too. You said it was kind of like a just for yourself, like a therapeutic kind of thing. Yeah. Were you going through stuff in middle school and high school and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going through it. I mean, I definitely had my moments where I had like my depressive stages. I mean, there's just a lot going on in general. I mean, middle school, high school, you know, kids be going through wild stuff. Kids was wilding back then.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera. A lot of emotions.
Yeah, from that to whatever, you know, typical family issues that might be going on, to my own personal stuff, to whatever's going on within the world, or just even growing up Black as it's slowly, quote unquote, progressing and stuff like that, is dealing with certain things like that. So in a world where I guess I felt like I almost had to a certain extent, like suppress myself, that was almost like my outlet to like release that and kind of get off my thoughts. So
Yeah, what did it feel like after you had written something, or like how did that habit form?
It always feels good. I mean, it's just like cool. I actually got to say it, whether I do anything with it or not. It's like here. And that's up to me to put it out, I guess, or do anything with it. But it just felt good to just like get it out, release, and like, okay, that was like, it was, and it's a fun process too, because I'm being creative with it. So it's not just like a journal per se, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm mad today because somebody drank the last of the milk or something like that. But like, it's like, yeah, the cat in the hat, hit me with a bat, whatever. Like, not literally that, but like things along those lines. It was just cool to like have fun, be creative with it, and then let that out. And then even just being able to like, again, it's just like the aspect of being free. There's no judgment. There's nobody sitting there like over my shoulder looking at what I'm writing and like, oh, why are you talking about that? Why you blah, 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 things like that. So it's like I can say whatever I want, be as vulnerable as I want to be, say whatever I want to say. Like I can cuss the word out if I want to. I can spend as much love or spread as much love as I want. It don't matter. So it's like that's like the place of like freedom per se. It's like So yeah.
And then were you able to carry that like that same kind of like this is a judgment free thing like is right into your songwriting, or was it kind of like hold up, this is now going to be me saying it? I should kind of have a persona. To a certain extent, because I know the like one of the first songs I dropped, I was talking a lot. It was just fun stuff. I was just like getting off, like I was still experiencing that, but it was like I was being mad vulgar for no reason. So I was like, I remember like one of my coworkers like, man, what you know about? It was like I think it's like something like elastic. I was like, I got shawty wet like a bow or some stuff like that. But I'm like, you know, in high school, whatever. So he was one of the older dudes that was working. He's like, what you know about? You know, I'm like man, this is a creative exercise here.
Yeah. But I've definitely like recognize like, oh, there's people that's paying attention to what I'm doing now, because if I talked about a certain topic, somebody might hit me up like, yo, like is that about why you talking about that? Whatever. I'm like, hey, that's true. Right. So it's like things along those lines, trying to like to a certain extent be mindful. And then for me it was like, all right, I'm gonna stop, because I'm a very like blunt, direct person too. So I had to also, for me, my compromise to that, to like being weary of how people might take things, is like, I mean, how do I find a more creative or more vague way of like saying, okay, this is what happened, without maybe throwing a name to it or something like that. But like if they hear it, they probably know, oh yeah, I did that. But nobody else do. So
and it sounds like you see it more of as a creative obstacle versus a hindrance, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
it takes away the being able to say whatever you want about anything. You could drop first and last names in your journal, but not in the song you release. Yeah, you know.
And even that, I mean, to this day is real, because I think then is like different, because that's for me per se versus when I start releasing things to the world.
Right.
And me being me, I'm still like a private individual. So like if I start name dropping people, I don't want people like Googling them, and then depending on how many people say like, oh, you did blah, 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 you trash, whatever the case. Oh, wow, you're so amazing. Like whatever the case might be, like I don't ever want to unintentionally like put attention on people like that. Like even this is me to this day. Like even on social media like that. Like I don't
treating others the way you would want to be treated. Sounds like
keep all like whatever personal going on or who's around me even like that to a certain extent. It's kind of like private. So I was like,
I mean, as private
I
as
can talk about it, but it's not like I'm a put like, oh, Natasha did this to me. I'll be like, oh, this girl from back, whatever the case might be, or use a fake name or something like that, you know. So
we got to take a break in about 10 seconds here.
RZShahid.com.
Yes.
RZShahidX on Instagram.
Yep. RZShahid to stream the music. Follow us, DogStar Podcast. We'll be right back. Wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're sitting down with RZ Shahid.
Yo.
Talking about the early days and the therapy of writing, and the therapy of writing and then releasing that art.
Yeah.
This takes us back to the days around 2016. We know you had just mentioned your first song being a feature, or the first song that you had a verse on being a feature, but the first song we found that you dropped was back in September of 2016, Good Life.
That was that long ago? Wow, that was 2016.
That's a long time ago. And I mean, your inspirational work ethic, I think, has stood the test of time. With continually making music since 2016, basically.
Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah, it's the good life only. Some. Then you ain't the homie. Something like that.
It's a vibe.
I remember that now. Yeah. That's funny.
You may or may not be able to listen to that currently.
It'll probably be on there. SoundCloud, yeah.
After that was Tonight and The Summit. Tonight produced by Wonderlust. The Summit produced by Mayer. And again, are these more still YouTube beats?
Wonderlust I'm more familiar with, because I'm pretty sure they also produced Knock Knock when I did that one. That's like the one I dropped like last year maybe or something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, that's somebody I like stayed following. And then Mayer, probably YouTube as well. Yeah, I think anything from 2016 up until like 2020 is like YouTube beats for the most part. Actually, except for the Leadfoot EP.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
people always are rolling their eyes, you know, using the YouTube beats. What's the, you know, the legal gray area, but it's an outlet. You know what I mean? It was music you vibed with. I think it's a phase that everyone goes through for sure.
Oh yeah,
and it builds the artistry. I mean,
it's definitely a cool way to start. And I think even a cool thing about YouTube beats, you go in there. What am I trying to like? What's a sound that I want to like get a production from? She's like, oh, I really like productions from J. Cole or let's see, who else out there, like Kendrick Lamar, whatever, Drake type beats. You can find things like that. You're like, okay, I like that sound. Let me, you know, add my own sauce to it. And then I feel like that's a good way to eventually like develop your own sound, because then you're like, you might end up deciding, oh, you know what, I can't really like find anything really that like is like sounding like what I'm really trying to like do next. And then that's when you start like, hey, can anybody or messing with it on your own. So yeah.
And it sounded like you had kind of been thinking about music for a while before you started releasing music, I guess. Did you have like a direction you wanted to go with the career, or was it a lot of experimentation in different genres? Like
or emulating other artists that you liked early on?
I definitely would say it was emulating other artists that I liked to a certain extent. I don't think I had like a or like this idea in mind, like, oh, I want to be the greatest rapper ever. Like, I think I was like just super big on just wanted to make like good music. So like, and I even realized now, even like with Good Life, I was like, it's a rap song, but I'm still like experimenting with like a little R&B flavor because I'm over here trying to sing on the hook and stuff like that. And then even I like jazz, so I always found myself I like looking into like hip hop, jazzy mixture beats, or even now growing up, like I like more heavily focused jazz or like funk like stuff too. So I think, I don't know, I never had like a one direction of where I wanted to be. Cause I don't think I've ever tried to like put myself in a box for real. I think I just try to make good music. But I do know once upon a time, I think I was just on some like trying to make some chill stuff. So I was like, yeah, I want some music on this vibe too. That's kind of like my thing. So,
and I mean, that's kind of the tone of a lot of these songs from 2017, 2016, including That's Right, produced by L. David, Runaway, produced by Michael Riley, which has a music video. I believe that's the first music video you ever dropped.
Yeah. I think the first one before that was my feature, so it wasn't mine technically.
Oh, right. And that was shot by Real Nice Sammy back in the day. Did you
Shout out to bro?
Yeah, have you collaborated? I know you've kind of honed in on your video collaborators currently, but have you collaborated on anything with Real Nice Sammy since then, back in 2017?
No, not visually. Okay. Cause I believe I don't know if he still does visual stuff, but I know he had like a clothing brand that he was like working on. I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but cause after him, I think the next person I ever shot with was like Matt Wells, and then after that, it's been like me and Connor pretty much.
Mr. Creates,
yep. So yeah.
That Runaway track led up to the Unknown EP.
Yeah,
this is what I would consider your first project.
Yeah, whatever was on that. It's unknown. Literally,
it's unknown. I don't know how many tracks are on it exactly.
I don't either. So
it's very mysterious.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I think I know what songs are on. I think I decided like not to. I just kept them.
Make it official.
Okay. Cool.
And that was back in March of 2017.
Sounds accurate.
Time travel here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I
remember a couple songs on there because I remember I think one song I like wrote for me and somebody I was seeing at the time. So I was like,
how do you feel when you look back at those songs? Is it just like,
I don't feel away. I mean, I don't listen to it, so I don't. It's not out. Like I honestly, I couldn't go on my phone
it's
and
not
find
part
it.
Of the.
Actually, I probably could find it in files somewhere, but like I've never like.
It's not active.
It's not active on there.
Not in the loop.
Listen to that one song. Oh, like nah, like it's whatever now. Even
Katie, I miss you.
Yeah, because like even Blue Pit is about like there's people in mind. When I wrote Blue Pit, it's like technically about like relationships and like women. But
okay.
But I'm not. I'm listening to jam, but I'm not like
so not stuck in that emotion. Yeah. I want to slide in the first song that's on Spotify that you did. Would be a Jaguar song, 3.
Yeah. That was because that was a feature I did for one of my homies. That was their band, or I believe he was a drummer in part of that band. So he just asked me if I could you be down to throw a verse, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then I think at the time I was like the only one who had like their feature like shown as like an artist because I think everybody was cool with like not being like
Didn't have it
shown
set
as a
up,
feature.
probably. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I want people to know that's me. So I was like, especially me trying to get out there. So,
Yeah.
But I always thought that was fun. I'm like, I appreciate it because again, I was the only one I think on that project that you can actually see all featuring whatever. Everything else is just like the music itself. But
Ooh.
so I'm like, that's love that you was willing to do that. And then because I was like, yeah, now I want people to look that up. Oh, who's that? You know. So,
That's
but
nice.
yeah, that was my introduction, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think real. Yeah, so that was my first song ever technically introduced was a feature, and my first like
Yeah,
being out there was a
Spotify,
feature as
yeah.
well. Yeah, that's
Wow.
funny.
How did it feel when you finally were on Spotify?
It was cool, and it was like different because they were like a I don't even know if I want to call them a rock band or nothing like that. It was like more indie kind of like music, but it wasn't a hip hop song for real. So it was cool. Like again, you speak on like different. Oh, like, yeah, I was just trying whatever sounded good. So like I was always experimenting with stuff. So it was kind of cool to like, oh yeah, we did that because that was another person I actually worked with at Nike. So
Oh, perfect.
I remember when they approached me and then it was out there. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Yeah, it's cool. And other people at Nike like, yeah, I heard what you did on that whatever once. I was like, yeah, thanks, man.
That's so cool.
So it was a cool thing because getting a little local recognition, at least from like the people within like the workplace.
Yeah.
And sometimes people might walk in, but hey, are you RZ woke? When I had like that as my ad at the time, I'm like, yep, that's me.
Nice.
That's like,
So yeah.
How did you grow your the people you were working with musically outside of just the Nike friend group?
I want to say most of the people that I've met, especially on a music note, like networking wise, it's all typically been from going to open mics or I was at a show and I had a set, or I came out to support somebody that I might have seen a clip online or whatever the case. I'm, oh, they seem cool, or they might be dope. And a can popped up when their set was done, pulled out, hey, think it was dope, man. Ooh. And if the vibes is right, we typically would connect, exchange information. Otherwise, I just like, yeah, you dope, and then we might connect online later. But
yeah.
everything was typically through meeting at open mics or going to shows, or sometimes it might be like I seen them online first and then I like came to pull up on a show that they had or knew that they were going to be at this open, whatever the case might have been. So,
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of both, but yeah, a lot of it was face-to-face interactions, and I feel like most of those people I'm still like cool with to this day because all of it was like mad authentic and like, you know, genuine. So
Yeah, what advice would you have for somebody who's, trying to get more friends in the music industry? I feel like you've got a good perspective on it because back in the day, you being the one to say, hey, good job. And now when somebody tells you good job, I'm sure you know how good that feels. But like, what advice would you give?
I mean, I want to say that. I don't know. I wouldn't even, because I would say, I guess the best way, but don't try to force friendships or nothing like that. I think the idea of like trying to find friends per se in the music industry is kind of, I don't want to say it's a myth per se, but it's a very like small like percentage of that of people that are actually like your friends for real. Because I view friends like different than like associates. So
right.
And especially in certain areas, like some people might, hey, to your face or whatever like that, but they not trying to see you win for real. And it's like there's a lot of things that are mixed up. So for me, it's like, I think even like when I was talking to people recently, it became a topic of just trying to like network. And I said like, there's a thing where it's like you can meet like 10 people one night, but maybe only one or two of those people are going to be people to like stick around for real or really like come through and support you like that. And other people might have been cool like that, but it wasn't like a real connection. So I wouldn't harbor too much on who's not rocking with you and focus more of your energy on who does like either reciprocate your energy or shows you love versus focusing on the negative aspect on things, which I could definitely say I once upon a time had an issue with that. I was like, oh man, I feel like they're not rocking with me, woo, versus, but there might be like 15, 20 people like, man, you're so dope, woo, like that. But
Interesting.
But so I definitely would say, honestly, one, be yourself, show love, or don't be afraid to show love either. If you think somebody's dope, tell them you think they're dope. Like it's not let me say, I'm gonna say glazing because I can't use the other word. It's not glazing. People probably know what that phrase means, but it's not, doing that. Like you can show love and without it being like weird or you're like, oh, you're a fanboy or nothing like that. Like if you think somebody's like, hey man, that was a dope track, dog, I like what you do, and then it don't mean y'all gotta collab. But so yeah, just acknowledging somebody's good at what they do and vice versa. Like accept the comment, oh thanks man, appreciate it. And then if it leads further, it leads further. But I think removing your ego and all that stuff out the way is probably like the first step, which I can't say is easier said than done in the sense of trying to like maintain some type of artist persona to a certain extent too. So it's like, I just believe in being a human being.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I think you're dope, cool. If you seem nice, cool. If I don't like your vibes, I'm not going to keep trying to interact with you. Leave it at that. And kind of go from there. So
that's huge.
Be you, have fun, make dope music, and if people like it, they're going to, eventually people will, attract to you. So.
Including Student One, Johnny Napalm. This is in 2017, 2018. We got Soul, produced by Seymour. We've got
shout out Seymour too.
Yeah, Seymour the producer.
Yeah.
That was back in like 2017. How'd you link up with him?
He's another person that I found on like YouTube, but it was like one of those low-key folks. So I just hit him up. I was like, yo, how much for exclusives or cuss, whatever like that? And he told me price. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can make that work. And then kind of went from there. So like, he's always shown love, always responded to me. So, yeah.
And then, Move featuring Student One, also 2017.
Yeah.
Bank, produced by Bliss, 2017. TV, that's that Johnny Napalm track, featuring Johnny Napalm, produced by Bliss. That was like right on the cusp of 2017, 2018. And again, this is all leading up to the journey. The journey to the Xanadu.
JTTX, yeah.
12-track project dropped in May of 2018.
Yep, May 18th, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Why? It's because it seems like that's pretty much if you're able to listen to it, it seems like a concept album.
It's on SoundCloud.
Right. Just it seems like a departure from the single you were dropping 2 years prior.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the single aspect, and even like what I said earlier, excuse me, like regarding like the Unknown project, where I was like trying to figure out what it was that I was doing, so I just ended up dropping stuff as singles as well. So then I think JTTX was just like one of the first things where I think I really started like, I don't want to say like taking it for real, like seriously like that, 'cause like with Bank, things like that, like I was taking music seriously, but it's like, it's one thing to just drop singles, and it's one thing to actually sit down, try to craft the whole project with a story, get the cover art right, shoot trailers, things like that, which is what I did with like Connor. So I don't know, I think this is like when I was like, okay, I'm really trying to like do this for real. Like I'm serious about this. Like it's not just, oh, I'm just dropping music for fun. Hey, look at the new song. Ooh. I'm
like, what's
hey,
the
like,
strategy?
This is about this is about that. I found a word in a book that I like. I like the meaning to it. And I'm like, wow, she like that. I wonder how I could flip that into my own concept. And that eventually turned into a whole LLC that I made. So it's like, I think just JTTX was just like that light bulb for me, where it's okay, like this is what like really drives me. Like I love like this process, no matter how hard or annoying or expensive it can get at times. Like even without the heavy return of investment, it's like, this is like where my heart's at. So yeah.
And in one of our previous sit-downs on Sundogs Present Local Vibes, you had mentioned that you had whittled down JTTX from like 16 or 18 tracks down to 12 tracks. How do you pick what makes the cut?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't even know. I think even that thing's just like more of like, if I feel like if I'm second guessing a song, and not even in the sense of, oh, should I drop this because I'm saying whatever, it's more of like, do I actually like this song, or if it's like I'm just trying to add, oh yeah, to fit whatever. So I think even that, it might have been a thing where I might have A, not have liked the song as much as I thought I did when I made it, or B, it didn't really like fit into the story that I was trying to tell at the time. And some songs I may have released after that, or may not have, because that's happened a couple of times too, where like I'll do a little project EP and then like might have some other songs, but whatever, then drop them as like a Lucy or something like that. So.
And you had mentioned Connor Anderson a few times. There's the Empty music video, which coincides with the JTTX track.
Yeah.
After that, we had Aphrodite with Johnny Napalm, produced by Buster. That was a single 2018. We had Deuce Sides, which I believe we were talking about before the show, 2019. Gospel, not Gospel, excuse me, produced by Z Will, single 2019. Yeah. And this leads us up to the Lead Foot EP.
Yes.
Of August, 4 tracks, August 2019.
Yeah.
And that's you and Andre Mariette?
Actually, that's me and Tony Swing. I think he produced like all of the songs. No, he produced 2 of them at least, I'm pretty sure. 'Cause I think that one, I think I might have had, Khalif might have actually mixed and mastered that one, engineered it. So, yeah, Shit was the one I did with Andre.
And that was a 7-track album released in October of 2020.
Yeah.
Coinciding with the music videos I'm Gone and Come Home.
Yep.
And then we got a few 2020 features.
Oh, yes.
Because you were on 6 for 6 Forever EP, Juice Lord's EP with Pro Steve and Y Khalik on NBTS.
Yeah.
And then also on Righteous MC's project, The Inner Cosmos, the Matthew track.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the later on the album.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's some big names to be working with.
Yeah. I always tell Righteous too. I think I tell a lot of people, like, even like when that song, because I think that might be like one of my like favorite features I done was the one with Righteous.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I love that track. So yeah.
It's a solid one. Yeah. And that was August. Yeah. 2020 was a busy year for you.
Yeah. Strangely enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Wild year.
Yeah.
And then Blue Pit, the Andre Marionette collab, the Dream Team.
Marionette.
What did I say?
Marionette.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Tragic.
I'm sorry for drawing attention to
No,
it.
October 9th that dropped. And you said you guys had been like building a studio together.
Don't answer that just yet. We'll get your answer when we come back right after this. Bow wow.
Oh, wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're sitting down with RZ Shahid, waiting with bated breath. We wanted to know about the construction of the studio with Andre Marionette, correct?
Yeah.
And that just ended up culminating in the phenomenal project that is She.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you volunteer your services to build? Do you have carpentry experience? Or
Nope, I don't. Pretty much, honestly, I feel like we met. I know we originally like met online, and then I think I met him at like a pop-up shop. I think it was like Y Khalik's pop-up shop way back when. It's like when I might have first met him like face-to-face, and then chopped it up. He was building a studio. I don't remember if he was looking for help or I think he might have been like, yeah, I'm just trying to, well, let me know if you need help type situation. And then it kind of just became a thing where it was kind of like I'm down to help regardless, do whatever. Cool. And then he's like, well, if you're doing that, then we can record your project, whatever like that. So I was like, sure, that's cool. And then that's kind of how that went.
That's nice. I mean, it's a sound investment. Yeah, we got Sim, produced by Seymour, as a single with a music video in 2021. We've got Got a Blast featuring Mac OG as a single in May of 2021. OC, excuse me. Caged In, produced by the aforementioned Andre Marionette, single in 2022 that has a visualizer. Settle Up interlude, produced by Seymour, the producer. Yep, and also in March of 2022 with a visualizer. Broken Dreams, single, March of 2022 with a visualizer. Knock Knock, single, September of 2022 with a lyric video. And then this year, Unplug, Valentine's Day, lyric video, and Warrior, the most recent track, July 18th of this year with a visualizer and a lyric video. And maybe more in the future. Speaking of the future,
I got one.
Oh, excuse me.
The Level Up crew, Level Up. With,
yes.
You, SJ, the Afrocentric Ratchet, Nucky, and Destiny Roberts.
Yep.
How did that come about?
I think Destiny reached out to me.
Awesome.
I think so. With opportunity or whatever like that. He's like, get some artists together, and I was like, all right, bet. Pulled up, and then I remember for like the promo, I did like the voiceover for like the little promo video, and I like had like a little announcer voice.
No way.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we are in here with Afrocentric Ratchet, me and Connor, and we shooting. I can't say that, but you know the vibe. Like I was just doing stuff like that.
That's
so yeah,
sweet. And then you've been performing a lot.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you're doing the art shanty again out on the frozen lakes. You were at MOA.
Yeah.
You were at Rage Future at the Caboose. You were at Crystal Frolics. You did the Cherry Pit Volume 5.
Yeah.
And then Future. We want to talk about the future before we have to let you go here. It's coming up. I guess I don't know which order to do this in. We saw it announced the Cedar
commissions. Yeah.
The commissions. Yeah, that's awesome.
Ooh, yeah.
How does that, or what is that even about? Is that like a grant opportunity, or what do they call that?
That's how I viewed it. Because when I looked at it, I felt like I was applying for a grant, but I guess you can call it a commission to a certain extent because pretty much I have to make a musical body of work or perform it at least for the Cedar Commissions or at the Cedar in February. So I believe I got to make at least like 30 to like 45 minutes max of like original music nobody's heard before, and then performing it live. And
so it drops at the live performance?
Something like that, yeah. That technically be the first time like people actually like, oh, this is outside of like the band members and stuff like that. But
and I saw the deadline was February for that, the show in February then?
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll have the rollout prominent. You're a pro at that at this point.
Yeah.
Is that more added pressure when you received confirmation of your acceptance, or was it kind of along the same momentum you were going and like, oh, this will...
I wouldn't say it was pressure. It was probably more relief than anything. So I was like, cool, like, just because they're... I was like, all right, cool, I'm getting X amount of dollars. That's what's up. I can kind of go into making this happen. And it's all cool. I'm getting an opportunity to do something I love to do anyway. So it's like,
yes.
And I got to pretty much like pitch a story that I want to tell. And it's, oh, y'all want to hear it? Cool. Bet I can make that happen for y'all. So it's been a good thing. I don't think there's not much pressure. I mean, I think the only pressure is just like organizing everything, which is the idea that I got on how to execute it. But outside of that, like I like the process of creating and performing, getting all that stuff together. So it's like there's pressure to it, but I don't mind it. So it's one of those.
A healthy motivator, perhaps.
Yeah.
Are you going to be sharing the stage with any hand-picked musicians? Or I guess what can you
I'll definitely
reveal?
The goal, and I'm not that's what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be up there, with a live band. I'm not gonna say who's a part of the band, but I'm gonna be up there with a live band, and we're gonna be performing some stuff that y'all ain't never heard from me.
Oh, that's
Do
so
not miss
amazing.
it. Do not. And another thing you shouldn't miss, which the rollout's already well underway for, is this Pressure Made Basement Gang show at 7th Street.
Oh, when's
December
that?
19th.
December 19th.
December 19th. That'll be drilled into your brain. The way they're promoting it, that's gonna sell out for sure. So it's Basement Gang. That's June the Kid, Saiku, Quasi Uno, and Crash On, and Righteous MC.
Yep.
And then you, Bushido Chop, Big Kia, SJ the Afrocentric Ratchet, hosted by Juice Lord, sound by Soul 2 Dots.
Squat.
I don't mean to sound like a commercial, but like that definitely will sell out. So
y'all need to buy your tickets.
It's no joke.
Yeah, by the time you see this, you got about maybe a month, if they're not sold out by then. So yeah,
that's it's a wild lineup again. With is that pressure being on a lineup of artists of that caliber, or
it ain't no thing?
No, I mean they dope. I'm dope too. So I got no fear, none of that. So I'm excited to be there because I like being on lineups where it's like, just back to back to back to back. You're gonna get just amazing music, amazing show. So looking forward to it.
And in February, the Cedar Showcase, there's 2 nights of performing, right?
Yeah,
the 9th and the 10th?
Yep. February 9th, February 10th. So yeah.
That'll be
those
excellent.
are big shows, man. Big shows. We should probably get to talking about these tracks that you brought up.
Yes, please.
Ashi.
Yeah.
So both produced by Andre Mariette.
Nope. One's produced by Come Home is produced by C-Mart, and Blue Pit's produced by Andre.
Oh.
Bingo. Blue Pit's the 2nd track.
Off the project.
Yeah. So Come Home is the 4th track. Again, I'm going to ask, how do you pick the sequencing of these tracks, especially on Ashi?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, at least for me, I guess you could say, when you start thinking about technical roles, I guess I executive produced that too, to a certain extent. Well, I guess Andre did too. Yeah, I asked for input. So, but honestly, part of it is just one, like, what story am I telling? How does this kind of go down the line? What was the song like? All right, what's the order? And, that song might be good, just like an intro, cool. It's not necessarily like whatever, Blue Pit. So I feel like I kind of just got like certain topics out the way, and then like kind of like slowly delve into like, all right, this is what I'm going through. Come home, so bring yourself back home. Like Blue Pit was talking about like some love. I think like the first one, I was just kind of talking my stuff. I don't even remember what third. I think it was like Day and Night or something like that. Talking about the grind, come home, the grind. Oh, I'm out all the time. Come home, like hey, things like that. So like I kind of looked at the topics and then figured out like what songs could kind of like come after that. So like even like with the Day and Night to come home. So that one I'm just talking about moving around all the time, yada 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 yada. And it's like come home. Why you always outside? Where you go? And it's like I'm doing stuff, make stuff happen. So
and do you find your songs take on triple, quadruple meaning with time? Like you will apply more meaning to, or maybe fans will come and say, "This is how I interpret the music." And
it's definitely that's happened before. So it's definitely happened. People come up to me and say, "Hey, I feel this," and like I feel like this what you know. I know, but like that's how you interpret it. It's cool. Yeah. So things like that. So.
That's dope. Well, for an example, Blue Pit, you mentioned earlier in the interview that might have been about some relationship situations. Does it still mean the same thing for you today when you hear it, or yeah, pretty much?
I mean, Blue Pit is basically just like I think some of it was like a realization, but like for the most part, Blue Pit was just saying like I'm not gonna be playing games with nobody. So it's like, but I think it was like that. I think it was like I'm not playing games with nobody, but then it was also like talking about those moments where you like are dealing with those like the hot and cold situations because it's like, all right, you know what, I ain't doing this, but then again, you're like, I might dabble again, things like that. So it's like, hey, you got it on lock, but so it's like one of those things that got you on hold, but you also say, nah, I ain't folding for that. Ooh. So it's one of those situations. So it's talking about, I guess, like the roller coaster ride of like situationships, relationships, things along those. I mean, been through it all.
And with Come Home, which has a music video, which was Connor Anderson, Mr. Creates, and Driven Dreams collab.
Yeah.
When do you like to play that song in your playlist? Is it a morning song? Is it a come home from work song? Is it
honestly, I feel like Come Home for me is probably more of like a wind down song, or especially with me knowing what I like meant when I wrote it. I guess it kind of depends on like the mood I'm in. Like if I feel like listening to those songs that like make me feel something, I might throw that on too because I know what I was talking about when I wrote that. Because even that is another track where it's like I'm talking about moving around all the time because I'd be tired and I'm always bouncing from here to here. I'm working, then going to the show or going whatever the case might be. And then another part of Come Home was almost like recognizing when you're like losing yourself too. So yeah, come back to yourself kind of like type situation too. So yeah, because even the lyrics, I talk about, you chasing yada, 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 that's going to lead you to that, things like that. And then I'm also talking about, I'm coming back to myself, like meditating and things like that, like those practices and self-care to a certain extent. So yeah, this is, bringing yourself back to that.
Well, thanks for bringing yourself back to sitting down with the dogs. We can't thank you again for sure, sitting down with us. We'll see you next time.
It's another home.
Told lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pit. Told lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pit. Yeah, look into my eyes, you might just get surprised. Lil' mama know I'm wise, I might just be your prize. Intuition got you feeling like I might be right. Corny, I'll be too appealing, try and peep my side. Dig into your treasure while I ride your wave. What quiet senses, fight intention, then let's misbehave. No wasting time, no time to play unless you tryna play. Just close your mouth and give me action, show me what you say. Yeah, I know I got you weak, all about the action of the sheets. Bet we got it on repeat, shorty talking rounds like a boxing ring. Got me falling in deep, and I might drown, putting you to sleep. Telling me just for me, let me find out, shorty wanna creep. I'ma take my time, no, ain't no need to rush. Baby, ain't no need to fuss, just tell me when you had enough. All this entree in my face, I promise I ain't getting stuff. Ain't no villain, find your one improving, go and call my bluff. Told lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pill. Told lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pill. Dive into this water, tryna die up in the stream. Working for the perfect sight, got it in my beam. Had a long day, this my favorite way to blow off steam. Whispered in my ear, this is what I saw inside my dream. I love it. Mother Nature meeting the mankind contentions with the roots. Feeling my way up in your spine, yeah, let's rendezvous. Back into the crib, you know the time, dinner for me too. Lay back and then unwind, enjoy the ride, the twists and turns, the roller coaster. Can't be too loud because the others don't believe in ghosts. I never been the one to brag and never mean to boast, but got a stroke that's in the waves across to all the other coasts. So lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pill. Told lil' mama, no, I ain't folding for no book. I'ma be lonely before you get me on some foot. Ignorance creeping, but I'ma need you in a full split. Rumbling crazy, got it on lock like a blue pill. I'm tryna see the space, don't wanna stand in place. I'm tryna do the most, and then I'm going ghost. Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? I'm tryna see the space, don't wanna stand in place. I'm tryna do the most, and then I'm going ghost. Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Early morning I was meditating, then I ran into my past life. Tongue sharper than my knife. Focus on some boy, you better get your act right. Better get some money for you desperate and take that flight. I've been acting up. Folly movement had you cruising, stuck in your resentment. Cement the problems, leave you frozen here in your decision. Thinking about all of the ways that you could do different, but habits keep you in a cycle. Gotta learn resistance. Just understand, it is a man. It's not always clean, but must take a stand. Respect for yourself, a part of demand. The power itself is there in your hand. Just take a deep breath. Come back to the land. I'm tryna see the space, don't wanna stand in place. I'm tryna do the most, and then I'm going ghost. Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? I'm tryna see the space, don't wanna stand in place. I'm tryna do the most, and then I'm going ghost. Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Just come home while you always outside. Where'd you go? Hello, yes, oh yes, it's me again. I'm just here to let you know I probably been your only friend. Only one to keep it real, never on no sugar coat. Not the one to spare your feels, always down to rock the boat. For real, I whip the brush so I can paint a picture. Dreaming about dollars, hope to make it quicker. Get out of focus from these pretty figures. Back in the light, I had to flick the switch up, get the grip up. Yeah, searching for that balance again, hit a hiccup. Was searching for the genuine friends, not my mission. Come back home, let's try it again, reposition.
Yeah, right there, right there. Yeah.